beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? What's up, Steam Deck fans? You know the Steam Deck tribe, nation, universe. Steam Deck tribe, nation, universe, world, legion. What's good? Mob, what's happening? Squad, what's up? Nerds, geeks, and freaks, and you investigators, what's happening? All right. We're talking about Linux 6.5 kernel for Ubuntu 22.4. Well, speaking of which, 24.4 comes out, I think, March or April. Yeah, so get ready for that. We know, okay, first things first, we know Steam has 34 million concurrent users. Pretty good. Keep pushing, Valve. All right. Now, for Ubuntu 22.4, listen to this. It says here, and I'm gonna read the comments too. It's 6.5 is finally available for 22.4. Listen to this. Ubuntu 22.4 users can now upgrade. Sorry about that. To Linux kernel 6.7. You can now upgrade to Linux kernel 6.5 in Ubuntu 22.4 LTS. No PPAs, additional repos, or Edge package requires. Ubuntu routinely backports newer Linux kernels from interim release to its latest long-term support release. The Linux 6.5 kernel from Ubuntu 23.10 released back in October is the latest version to get the treatment. Now, this major kernel update affects the standard hardware enablement kernel only. It will not replace the standard GA kernel. Ubuntu 22.4 LTS comes with, if you choose to stick with Linux 5.1 because it works best. When don't fret, it ain't going away. But new Ubuntu installs made using a point release 22.4.1 onward default to HWE kernel by default. That and lots of folks switching to using the HWE kernel as it includes support for newer hardware and technologies. What's new in Linux kernel 6.5? Although Linux kernel 6.5 isn't the latest kernel release, Linux 6.6 LTS was released in October, and Linux 6.7 landed this week. It's still a solid upgrade over the Linux 6.2 kernel HWE upgrade issued last August. Among the many improvements in the Linux kernel 6.5, you'll find better performance, power efficient on AMD Ryzen Zen 2 and newer. Extension for Ubuntu default file system gains faster parallel direct I/O overwrites. Rumble support for Microsoft Xbox controllers. Working sounds on Asus ROG Ally. Intel TPMI support. AMD FreeSync enabled by default. Initial MIDI 2.0 and USB 4 version 2. Further Wi-Fi 7 enablement. Yeah. Plus scores of small buffs and improvements to boost stability, security, and hardware support. Things which don't sound super interesting on their own, but whose sum collective is keenly felt. Install Linux kernel 6.5 on Ubuntu 22.4. Says here to install the Linux 6.5 kernel on Ubuntu 22.4 LTS. You can open software updater tool, check for updates, and install the pending Linux-image-generic-HWE-22.4 package. To update the command line standard sudo apt disk upgrade will do the trick. If you only want to install the kernel upgrade and any related package, run sudo apt install Linux generic HWE-22.4. Instead, you will have to reboot the changes to take effect, though. When you reboot, assuming you have GA kernel installed as well, you may need to select the Linux 6.5 entry grub menu, hold shift after the BIOS screen, but before the Ubuntu loading screen to show the grub menu. So yeah, it's here. Get upgrading. Says it. Alright, that's the end of the article. Now, we got 13 responses. Somebody, SN said this: I have not tried upgrading the kernel in an LTS release before. Can someone comment on whether it's safe to do so? If it breaks something, can you roll back to an earlier kernel or remove the problematic kernel? And then Chimp said this: Mint Update Manager. I am on Mint 21, talking about Linux Mint. It says just offer 6.5 as kernel 6.2. HWE goes out of support in February 2024, but kernel 6.5 has been in the install/available kernel listing of Mint Update Manager for over 1 month. I am more interested in getting a later version of the Mesa driver offered, and so the new Rust TICL, and it says OpenCL implement in Rust, can get enabled so I can get some OpenCL iGPU DGPU compute API support on my older AMD Vega integrated graphics, and even older Polaris discrete laptop GPU as well. Currently I am on Mesa 23.0.4 0-0 Ubuntu 1-22.4.1, but maybe need to get at least to Mesa 23.1, get the OpenCL and Mesa driver enabled on Mint, which uses the Ubuntu base for the support. And then Hecky said this: I was surprised that there is a new kernel today. Unfortunately, I have updated my system. VirtualBox was broken, since in the official repos there's still VirtualBox 6.x, not updated to version 7.x, and therefore incompatible with 6.5. After I have installed VirtualBox via other repos, the experience was terrible. My Windows 10 system running inside the virtual machine VM, more or less not usable, caused by really poor performance. I don't know what's the reason is. Actually, I was hoping to get much better performance, since I thought that newer kernels support Intel asymmetric core. That's a P-core/E cores of my i5-1340p better. So I'm waiting for the update of the VirtualBox in the official repos and give it a second try. Yeah. Here's it. And then Shamil said this: this kernel was available for a while under OEM flavor. Then it says parentheses Linux OEM-22.4D close parentheses. Then Joe said this: it was, then in parentheses it says it was available as an Edge package too, close parentheses, but those require most users to opt in. Today's update makes Linux 6.5 automatically available to all 22.4 users using the out-of-the-box HWE kernel. See, good things come to those who wait. But it says, then Javier said this: I don't know Conical distribute newer kernels outside point release. Nice. Then Dark said this: and that kernel was EOL relatively long ago. How precious. Joe said this: it's supported by Ubuntu/Conical for the duration of 23.10, so being EOL upstream shouldn't matter too much. It will continue to get security fixes, patches if needed. And Andrea said this: unfortunately, the 6.5 kernel breaks the sound of the right speaker on the Dell XPS 13 Plus 9320 model. I have been staying on 6.2 until that gets sorted out. That means it needs some updates. Then, let's see, Alexander said this: thanks to Ubuntu for making these kernel upgrades available to the LTS, also available to use in Linux Mint. Linux Mint and XFCE, they're part of the Ubuntu family. Says here, and then Dragon said this: nice to see I'm not the only one using Genome Console. Anyway, And any more? And that's it. So users sharing their experience, with the Linux kernels and the ups and downs that they're having. But now 6.5, it's officially available for Ubuntu 22.4. And then Linux Mint and XFCE, they are all part of Linux Mint, XFCE. They're all part of the Ubuntu family, because Ubuntu has Ubuntu, Kubuntu. Let's see, Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Kubuntu. What's the other one? Oh my God, can't call the other one out. But yeah, Ubuntu is a good operating system, man. So yeah, but Linux Mint is a part of the Ubuntu family, and then XFCE. XFCE is made to run on older machines, like from the 2000s and up. Yeah. So yeah. So if you got an old desktop laying around, give XFCE a run. Okay. And yeah, and then go from there. To get the what's that? Firefox. You got to make sure. What's that? You got to make sure. That all your drivers are up to date. So yeah. But other than that, man, Ubuntu is just moving right along, So yeah. 24.4 of Ubuntu comes out this year. I think April or March, one of the two. So yeah. And this 22.4 got some support. So I mean, you can use your Xbox controller, play some games. Wi-Fi 7 is the standard, so those 22 users, they're up to date. USB 4, ROG Ally, yeah, Rumble support, they're getting all that. So yeah, better performance power efficient on AMD Ryzen Zen 2 and newer. So the Steam Deck uses Zen 2, so yeah, that means 22.4 on Ubuntu can run on the Steam Deck. Just to let you know. So yeah, but other than that, man, Linux community moving right along. Steam right now has 34 million concurrent users. Yeah, that's a good thing. Keep pushing, Valve. Yeah. I think I just seen an article too earlier. Valve did a DMCA takedown of fan-made Team Fortress 2. So yeah. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see, where is it? Oh yeah. I use Ubuntu a lot. I'm still using 18 right now, but I will be upgrading to 22.4, and 24.4. Oh yeah, I'll be ready for both. When 24.4 comes around, I should be ready for all three. I got some upgrading to do. But anyway, let's see what else. What he says here: Team Fortress 2 fan-made remake canceled following DMCA takedown from Valve. Yeah. Gotta get the approval, folks. I know you love a game, but anyway, it says here Team Fortress 2 is timeless, but giving me a problem here. It says Team Fortress 2 is timeless, but can you imagine what iconic game would look like remade in Source 2? Emperor Software was working on a fan remake of Team Fortress 2 in the Dota and Half-Life Alyx engine, but the team of independent developer is now halting all work on the TFS2 after DMCA takedown notice from Valve. If you were looking forward to the Team Fortress 2 Source, this isn't the news this isn't the news you've waited on the project. Yep. So keep going here. Yeah, Valve take their what's that, intellectual properties serious, So yeah, it says here. Let me see if I can get it. Uh, Team Fortress 2 is in many of our Steam libraries, and not only because it's free PC game, the Valve classic shooter is unique amidst generic overpopulated sea of repetitive FPS experience. Since 2000, the game has been making waves as of Steam most populated entries, albeit with no official sequel in sight. I wouldn't say that. They probably took it down. Probably because of probably Team Fortress 3 is being worked on anyway. Fan developer have been working on official remakes though, like Emperor Software has been for the last 3 years. And it says here the self-described team, passionate developers who love to make games and mods, use the Source 2 engine, the very one from Valve behind it. Games like Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, Half-Life Alyx, for its remake of the beloved 9-10 sequel on Steam following the takedown notice from Valve. All works on the existing project is coming to an end. Well, then it says today we receive a DMCA takedown from Valve on all our public GitHub repositories and all its folks made by community. Emperor Software revealed in announcements. The dev continues saying that the notice isn't the only reason behind the project cancellation, as the team already came to the conclusion to stop the development of the project after discussing major engine changes resulting unusable code. And then it says, rather than being the sole driving factor, then the DMCA takedown is the nail in the coffin, according to Emperor Software. Valve doesn't want the team to use its IP, which is totally fair and legal. Despite the end of its 3-year work on official remakes, the devs declared that Emperor Software is here to stay as a group, but doesn't specify any further plans. And it says the news of the notice comes soon after Team Fortress' own recent big Valve update, which saw shooters topping Steam charts. Current Team Fortress 2 has over 75,000 players, pretty good, beating out other multiplayer FPS games like Destiny 2. Well, we already know where the Steam fans and Destiny stands because of Bungie, when they were telling the Steam players, the Steam Deck fans, that they couldn't install Destiny 2 on their Steam Decks. Rainbow Six Siege and newer entries like the Finals. Almost done here. So yeah, it says here fans following the fan remake have shared their thoughts online regarding its cancellation since the announcement. In a Reddit thread, some allege that the DMCA notice from Valve is unusual, while others express similar confusion, asking why the behemoth developer would do this. If you're out of things to look forward to with Team Fortress, you should check out the roundup of the most highly anticipated upcoming PC games. The list may not include Team Fortress 2 Remake, but there is a multiple of other game entries to choose from. Alternatively, you can browse our favorite indie games for other gems, independent developers to enjoy. And be sure to also follow us on Google's News for more daily PC game news. Alright, look. Well, Valve took Team Fortress down, DMCA takedown, but they say the development team can stay intact. So if they did that, then my suggestion is that they're probably working on Team Fortress 3, and they probably don't want the development team to like mess with like, you know, probably Team Fortress 2. I'm thinking they're probably working on 3, you know, when it comes to Team Fortress, you know, because, you know, Steam Deck 2, Half-Life 3, probably Team Fortress 3 or Left 4 Dead 3. We know the Steam Deck 2 is in a couple of years or whenever that thing decides to come out. But to me, Valve knows, you know, that when they come out with the Steam Deck 2, that they have to bring one of those games to the table when they release it. They can't just come out with the Steam Deck 2 and then that's it. They got to bring Half-Life 3 or Team Fortress 3 or Left 4 Dead 3, one of those games to the table. So we'll see when that comes out. But the good thing is that they didn't dismantle. The good thing about this takedown is that they didn't dismantle the team and say, oh, you know, like break the entire team up. They just did a DMCA takedown of Team Fortress 2 only, and that was it. You know, the team can still stay together. Now, what they do with the team now? What can the team do now? What can Valve do with them? Remains to be seen. But the good thing is that they didn't dismantle the team. They just take down the. They just did a DMCA takedown. You know? I know they're trying to protect their intellectual properties and all that. Okay, fine. Me personally, I have no problem with it. But fans, when some game fans, when they got a deep love for a game, they will try to do a like a remake of some sort. It's kind of like what you see with people doing with say Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time when they use the Unreal Engine, you know. So some fans are like that, you know. So yeah. But other than that, man, Valve didn't dismantle the team. They just took the game down and that was it. So, but where does the team go from here? Remains to be seen. Could Valve use them to work on a project that they got working on that no one in the industry knows about? Remains to be seen. So yeah. But other than that, yeah. Another chapter in the game industry, man. Yep. Anything else? Alright, that's it. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video for y'all to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, Dark Side. Go. Peace.